Breaking news, police are in pursuit of a suspect, Desmond Shaw. Live at Sky Cal with more for us, Des.
Amy, here we go as we enter Friday rush hour on the westbound 60, coming through the San Gabriel Valley into the city of Industry here, actually leaving Hacienda Heights. You see this vehicle still trying to catch up with it here. This came out of Ontario. This is a late model Toyota Tacoma here as we double in. Really a late model here with something in the back. We heard the helicopters overhead describe it as a chairlift. So some pretty high speeds here, about 85 miles an hour. Again, with Ontario PD still trying to figure out what started all of this in the city of Ontario, but already covered some ground. They were in Diamond Bar for a little bit off the 60 and Brea Canyon, then back on the freeway here.
Going pretty fast here on the 60, which of course we know officers prefer the pursuit on a highway or freeway because you don't have the chance of pedestrians crossing those stop signs, stop lights. But this truck, as Desmond was talking, it is certainly an older model, and you have to imagine probably not getting the best gas mileage. So we're hoping perhaps that this person will give up at least when they run out of gas, but impossible to say how much gas was in this truck right now. Getting off the freeway right now, right? Des, where are they getting off at? Does it appear?
Sound wall. Yeah, just cut all the way over to the right here as the suspect begins to hit some traffic here approaching the 605 freeway. This is really one of the only places you're going to find traffic this time of the afternoon on the westbound 60. It's the eastbound side. It is the volume side. So let's see how the suspect handles it as they're driving on the right-hand shoulder with this older truck, which, by the way, notice does have some damage from, looks like from a crash. Looks like maybe almost like the vehicle got T-boned at some point. Unclear if that was from this pursuit or if that was from earlier or what here as they get ready. Looks like they're going to be making the transition to the 605 freeway. We'll see which way they go. I think this is going to take us to the southbound 605. So cutting over onto the right-hand shoulder here. Yeah, we're going to be transitioning southbound 605 now towards the Whittier area. So we're getting the best look at this truck that we've had so far. Really, really close to that vehicle there. Got to be awfully stressful for that innocent person. Here you can see the driver as we cut through the trees here. So probably going to start to hit some more traffic here if they keep on this southbound 605. This could be a pretty rough ride on and off. Already hitting it all the way down towards the 5 freeway. So we're making our way now towards Whittier. So we've gone from Ontario to Diamond Bar, Industry, and now making it towards Whittier, trying to squeeze along wherever they can to avoid traffic and evade the police. We haven't been able to get a look in the passenger seat yet at this point. We'll see if we get the... Oh boy, what just happened there? I think he crow. Yeah, I think he just ran out of room and hit the right shoulder construction wall. You can see there's construction going on. This section really desperate here to try to get away. As I double in, I think we've just got the one person in the car. It looks like from this point, but look at this, on and off the brakes, slamming, trying to get through any gap that they can to get around the police. And now here comes Ontario. They are right there. Wow, it almost kind of looked like they wanted to try a pit maneuver or something like that. Probably would not do that at this point.
We've seen those cruisers close behind, but this is really a tough situation. Although we have all seen them do pit maneuvers on highways, it is not something that happens often. And they also can't put those spike strips out, but we are watching as this truck is now exiting the highway there. And Desmond, I'm trying to make out running the stop there. And where exactly is he going now, Des?
Well, we're on a little side road here that parallels the San Gabriel River off of the Rose Hills exit here. And look at these speeds, up to 70 miles an hour now on the street. Really insane driving now at this point. The other thing is, in the back, we not only have what was being described as some gym equipment, but looks like we have a load of lumber as well. And I was actually surprised that none of that fell onto the roadway. They are right behind the vehicle despite the speeds. They really want to bring this person to justice. But on the wrong side of the road now. That might force them to back off a little bit here. Really a dangerous maneuver. The most dangerous thing we've seen. This is an old vehicle right here that does not have the kind of safety equipment that newer vehicles have. If this driver goes head on with another vehicle, this is going to end very badly for him.
Yes, we just have to hope that he gets on the right side of the roadway. This is just, people are out and about starting their weekend unaware that somebody's going to come barreling down the road the wrong way, and such a large, really sturdy truck there, and making a very aggressive turn here. We're watching there. So many people just unaware.
Thank you. We got it, guys. ahead, Booth. I gotcha. Okay, copy. This driver was on the 60 West and then transitioned onto the 605 South before exiting onto surface streets here near the cemetery, and he's been working surface streets here ever since. You can see that police are close behind. There's also a sheriff's ship overhead as well as Ontario police that continue to chase this individual in what looks to be an older model pickup. Yeah, it's been a dangerous one because he's actually on the wrong side of the road right now on a major street here, which is Workman Mill Road, which again is going to be right next to Rose Hill Cemetery. And he's not on the wrong side of the road because there's traffic, because there really isn't traffic in this area. He's just driving on the wrong side of the road because he's a crazy driver. During the time that we've been overhead, we've seen lots of close calls already, and it really hasn't been very many minutes during that time. But Workman Mill Road continuing here in Whittier, wrong side of the road, going to try to dodge some of these vehicles here so that he doesn't crash into them. But again, at this point, we believe it's Ontario police that's behind him, and there's 2 police ships overhead. Either they're going into surveillance mode or those officers had to fall back a little bit when he was driving on the wrong side of the road. But they should be able to catch up soon. But still wrong side of the road here. These are very close calls here. Just on the other side of that tree there, you'll notice the pickup. Oh, there's a motorcyclist. And I don't believe he hit him, but I couldn't see because of the tree. But still continuing wrong side of the road right under us. Beverly Boulevard at Floral Drive in Whittier. It's about 2 o'clock, Jim. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly.
When you have an agency that is not in their city anymore, they can't get other units to get ahead of this to lay spike strips or do anything like that.
Sometimes they hold on to these cars for a while and then almost drive it as if it's theirs. They forget that they stole it, and then eventually police try to pull them over, and then that's when they flee. But in this case, it does definitely look like it's somebody's work truck.
So dangerous, and Des is giving us a very close look at this truck. We can't quite see how far away.
Oh, there is someone.
There is someone in the passenger
Wait, is
seat.
there?
Is that someone?
No.
Just,
I'm sorry.
clothing?
No, never mind. There's something there in it made me. It kind of looked like someone wearing a pink shirt or something there for a second. But no, I think. Yeah, I think it is just the driver now at this point.
It looked like, Des, real quick when you were doing that, it looked like he was like looking in the back seat or something, or had his body turned around. I don't know if you caught that at all.
In this case, the pursuit actually started all the way in the IE. It started in Ontario, so I would venture to say that this guy is lost and just trying to find his way back to the freeway, which in this case, if he's trying to get back to Ontario, he has to hop on that 605 North and then try to pick up the 60 East or even the 10 West. Or 10 East, rather.
So dangerous to watch, seeing what could happen. See how wide those turns are, Des? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, this vehicle really can't take it now. These older Tacomas are some of the trustiest, most reliable vehicles on the planet, but this guy's driving it like it's a Porsche. The way trying to take these turns so quickly, he's already come so close to losing control here at a few different junctures. So that's what makes this, that much more dangerous. Could easily spin out and smack into another vehicle or something like that if they're not careful. And back on the wrong side, not just the wrong side, but the farthest lane that he could possibly be there to get around. And there's barely even any traffic. So then you get these divided roads like this, and you just imagine what these poor people are thinking as people having to jump out of the way of this maniac here. Wrong way, Whittier Boulevard, Whittier, Washington right here. This is a weird and very busy intersection as it continues to barrel on the wrong side of the road westbound. If this continues, I just don't know how this does not end badly.
It is tough to see because we all know how dangerous this is. It seems like something's dragging behind the truck now, and I don't know what that is, but
I think it's a strap. It looks like that wood was closer together. It was being held, and I think that strap came apart on that wood, and now that's what's hanging.
Yeah, at this point, let me widen out as much as I can without losing him. But yeah, I can see at least a good quarter mile behind him, and we're not seeing anyone. Yeah, they're in standard tracking mode, so helicopters only. Oh, Lots of close calls here because he ran the red. So he ran the red to turn left onto Sorensen Avenue from Washington. Yeah, back on the wrong side of the road. And again, you would understand if he was trying to dodge traffic, but he's not. He's just simply driving on the wrong side of the road because he's an absolutely reckless driver. Yeah, so what they'll typically do is, oh, there you go. We spoke too soon there. The unit was able to close the gap there, and it looks like it's essentially up to the watch commander to go into tracking mode, and they judge it based off of how the person changes their driving. This guy apparently, it didn't work on him. He's still continuing to drive very recklessly, so they're allowing the units to get back behind him. So we should see those units basically try to trail him the best they can, but they're limited in what they can do because they can't violate the rules of the road the way this driver is doing. So this will still keep them back further than what we typically see in a pursuit.
Just refusing to stop or slow down, Des.
Yeah, really, and you know this stuff in the bed of the truck is kind of a complicating factor as well, because as we make trying to make another turn, actually just continuing here onto the right side of the road for a second on Norwalk Boulevard. I'm just wondering if that's complicating things for the authorities as well. If they were, thinking about a pit maneuver or something like that, that stuff could go flying, and that could be, an unpredictable factor.
Of course, this reckless driver here making his way through the streets of Norwalk now. I wanted to see how far that unit was. So he's not right on his tail, but he's close behind. Looks like he might be turning on a Florence here. So we are now in Santa Fe Springs, and he tricked me there. He's continuing southbound on Norwalk Boulevard.
Just barreling along here, southbound Norwalk Boulevard, paralleling the 605.
Yeah, and Des, you made a mention earlier of that stuff in the back and how hard that might be to do a pit. Pickup trucks in general can be a little bit more difficult just because of the weight distribution in them. So I wonder if that's playing a factor. But again, yeah, as you mentioned, we're going so fast, we've never gotten even a chance to do a pit maneuver because of the speeds. Not for, it seems like a lack of trying. Ontario's been real right on his tail the whole time.
Now we are in the city of Norwalk, and at this point it still looks like it's Ontario police that are directly behind him with a couple of police helicopters overhead. Yeah, they could definitely try a pit because of the size of the vehicle, but my concern at this point is the speeds. So it's the speeds and the congestion here on surface streets in the Norwalk area. If it comes to that, we'll figure it out to see if that's possibly what is allowing this driver to continue. But for now, we're in Norwalk. We're on surface streets, Foster Road at Fairford Avenue. So at this point, they're going to try to continue to chase from the helicopter because they know that they can at least keep tabs on him and figure out where he goes. But the concern is if they just do helicopter only, other drivers won't really realize that this is a pursuit and won't know to get out of the way. Wow, that was a close call. There were some cars there waiting in the center turn lane, and he had to squeeze between cars, so it was a very close call. So at this point, they're going to continue to chase from the helicopter. Obviously, the ground units can't drive on the wrong side of the road the way he's been doing. So hopefully he doesn't run anyone over or hit. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to widen out real quick. He was coming so close to that cyclist. Pardon me. It was too close for comfort. I had to widen out. So at this point, he is headed westbound on Imperial Highway. Imperial Highway, of course, a major street here through the area, and will actually take us all the way to LAX. But it looks like we're not going to get that far because he just made that turn there onto a smaller street called Hoxie Avenue. That was a southbound turn from Imperial.
From your vantage point now, Desmond, have they backed off again? We know we see them going in and out, from time to time, backing off the vehicle.
As we get onto the freeway here, looks like onto the 105 right here at the beginning of the 105. They did back off a little bit. We'll keep a wide shot here for a second and see if we can see Ontario PD coming into the show. Whoa, look at
up in
this!
the dirt.
Wow, onto the off-roading now. Off-roading off of the embankment here. Why are they doing this? They're going to puncture their tires or do some serious damage to this vehicle. I don't think this is a 4x4. This car romping into the dirt. He's going to lose control here. Get the vehicle stuck. Not sure what is the strategy here.
And there's
so
Ontario.
crazy.
Into the
And there's
wash.
Ontario PD right here at the edge of the I think this is the San Gabriel River that we might be going down. So now we are off of the roadway through a fence. What are they going to do now? I think the vehicle's going to get stuck in the mud, trying to
door's
open the
open.
door, but the fence giving them trouble.
The
And
suspect
there they
out.
go, out and underneath the 105 freeway here. Oh boy, so we are underneath in the wash here, just to the west of the 605.
When he got to the 105 freeway, he hopped on for just a moment and then went off-roading in the dirt and then went down the side. And here's another car coming out from under the freeway, which is really interesting because there shouldn't be cars down here. So that's interesting that this car would be down here. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. But police are looking at it because they're wondering what this car is doing there too. So the police helicopter is going to follow this car too, and we can keep an eye on it as well. But this is going to be in the Downey area. I'm hearing that Downey police are getting dispatched to the scene now. Yeah, this is definitely not the pickup. The pickup's actually stuck over there. So it's just interesting to police that this car came out of that area because they said there's no reason for that car to be there. But he's pulling up right to a sheriff's deputy and obviously in communication. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so that car I think may have come there from that residential area, but what you're seeing here is basically police are descending on the area and they're setting up a perimeter the best they can to surround the area where they last spotted this individual. They obviously have the car. They know the car is stuck there in the wash, stuck on the fence, so it's not going to go anywhere. But what they're going to try to just focus on is all of the individuals who may be under the freeway. A lot of them may be unhoused people, but they'll try to find their person. You can see that the sheriff's helicopter is making orbits over the freeway. And the thought process behind that, even if the police helicopter doesn't have eyes on the individual, the guy's going to see the helicopter and he's going to think, hey, if I get out from wherever I'm hiding, they're going to see me. And that does buy police some time to bring out the police canine, to bring in additional officers, to set up that perimeter and to try to locate him. It's usually based off of scent. So that guy was in the car for a good while, and so his scent is going to be in that vehicle. So they'll take the police canine to the car. He'll be able to sniff around and then basically get a good idea of who he's looking for. And then that's when the search can begin. And of course, it's going to be a very methodical search, but these are specially trained canine. That's exactly what they're trained to do. So they will basically sniff around and try to locate him, or even just locate anything he may have dropped, an article of clothing, for example, and that may help them find this individual. Motorcycle unit, maybe? Yeah, there we go.